So, I was trying to tell you that when you listen, this is extremely important. Remember multitasking? You skim and scan both at the same time. You listen for details, and also you try to get the big picture. Now, that's what we automatically do when we speak our native languages, our mother tongues. And when we listen to people speaking our mother tongue, we automatically do this. We pick up the message. We don't usually listen for words. We usually get the big picture when we listen. But sometimes some words are important for us. Now I want to go tell her, you know what he said about you? He called you out. Then I remember the exact word. But if it's something that I'm not very interested in, I naturally filter out all the stuff that I don't need to keep in mind, and I hardly even remember. I remember something vague. There was a vague picture in my mind. But I got the message. Now, what is the difference between the native speakers when they listen and language learners? Can you guess? Do language learners listen for details more and specific words, or no, just the message? Which one? What do you think? It differs from person to person, but as a general rule, because we're learning the language and we're just learning the words and structures, we are more inclined to listen to specific words, every single word. I'm listening to that word. I'm listening to that word. I'm listening to that word. Yes? So he went there and they got divorced. For example, they got divorced. Now the word divorce is not here in the text. You have separate. So I'm looking at the word separate and I'm listening for separate. The word separate is not there. It's not coming. The word that's coming is divorce. Or I see divorce, the word divorce is not coming. Say, hey, it was split up. It was split up 2 years ago. We separated. We went our different ways. So, like I said, there's a number of things you should do at the same time. So you pre-read the question, you look at the guide words, you guess what kind of word you're listening for. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Does it have ing or not ing? Is it an infinitive or a gerund? Is it about time, date, place? At the same time, you should remember, you're listening for the idea, the general concept, not specific words that you see here. It's something you need to remember. And at the same time, you should listen for specific detail as well as the general idea, because you should get the big picture too. Many questions are about the big picture, the idea, not specific details. And by looking at the picture very quickly, you can tell whether you're listening for something specific or you need the general idea. Correct? Okay. Correct. So we talk about it in how you're supposed to look at the gaps and find out what's right or wrong. There's a final tip, and that is test it. Section 1 always has an example question first to give you plenty of time to get started. Now, of course, before you want to listen, the recording gives you some time. Why? Because it does give you a few seconds to look at the questions, but before that is reading the instructions and there's an example, so you have enough time to look at the questions. Some people who are very fast even use this time to go to the final, the third and the fourth set of questions in the listening section. Especially the final set of questions is a large bulk of 10 questions. when you get there, it's extremely difficult to read all the questions. Some people use this time to go to the final set of questions and have a look at that. Those questions. I would not suggest this or recommend this because you totally lose your concentration on the first set of questions or the second set of questions. So some people usually give this hint. My suggestion is do it set by set, and when you get to the final set, use as much time as you can before the instructions or before anything else to just very quickly look at all the 10. And use your fast reading or skimming techniques and also the underlining techniques to help you manage that part, as opposed to using the time for the first set of questions to go to the fourth set of questions. I wouldn't recommend it. Some classes, some teachers say, well, that's a good idea. I wouldn't say yes. Because then that's a totally different topic. You're talking about a totally different thing. And then you come back to the first set of questions. It's completely different. And you screw up everything. Some people say that because the first set is easier, it's okay, you don't have to concentrate that much. It's about an address, about someone's name and stuff. But still, I wouldn't say yes to that. So this is the end of Unit 2.